What's good, everyone? How do you hire technical developers when you're not a technical person? That is the question that I'm going to answer in the video today. So as you all know, Eric and, or maybe not, maybe you don't know, but Eric and I are both not developers. We're not technical people. But without being developers and without having a technical co-founder, we managed to create a business generating over $120,000 a month. That's pretty impressive, right? I mean, we managed to develop 5 different apps without being developers ourselves. And we did it all using freelancers, working with freelancers from different countries through mostly Upwork, but sometimes Fiverr. But how did we do it? How did we manage to actually find good developers without knowing how to test them, without knowing how to do code review, how to read code properly, and basically without knowing how to do the job ourselves? So when we first started out, we had a specific method, and it's good, it's not that it's bad, but we improved that a lot over time and learned from a lot of mistakes that we didn't even know we were doing. So I wanted to do a revamped video of how we actually find good developers without being developers ourselves. So this is a six steps solution, 6 steps method to find good developers for a cheap price, who are actually quality developers who you can trust, who are freelancers. You don't have to hire them. This is going to help you really save on costs if you are bootstrapping. Enough being said, let's jump into it. The 6 steps to finding good technical developers. Let's go. Step number 1 is to define your role. It's not enough to say, I need a developer. You need a specific role. Now, it really would depend on, are you just starting out and you have 0 people in your team? Or like we are currently doing, do you already have a team and you're looking to add people to it? Let's give an example from real life, from what we're doing right now. We are searching for 2 types of roles. We are searching for React developers who are going to do mostly front-end development, and for Node developers who are going to mostly do back-end development. This is generally what we're looking for. So what we have to do now is take these 2 roles and actually define what they mean. What does this person have to know? What do they have to do? Do we have a specific time zone that we want to find them from? Do we look for an agency or a freelancer? There are a lot of questions that you need to answer for yourself to know what you're looking for. Now, let's say you're looking for someone completely new from scratch, you don't have a team, and you're looking to build a team, and you're not a technical person, you're not a technical developer. The first role you would be looking for is probably a full stack developer who can also be a team lead. Or alternatively, you could look for an agency. Now, I do have one point that I want to make about working with an agency or a freelancer. When you look at the long term of your company and how well you will be able to manage the team, I would go for freelancers and not agencies. Just because, let's say one freelancer decides to quit, that's fine, you still have your team. But if the agency decides to quit, you have a problem. And we've had this problem pretty recently. Maybe we'll talk about it in a later video. But if you're having issues with the agency you're working with, you basically lose your entire team. That's not ideal. Also, if you're looking to sell in the future, if you have freelancers who are kind of like employed directly with your team, it's better for your evaluation than if you're working with an agency, because then you are dependent on a different company. There's a lot to say here. If you want, we can get more in depth into it. That's not the goal of this video. But that being said, I do not regret using an agency when we first started out. There are a lot of benefits to working with an agency. If you have no idea what you're doing, if you don't know how to manage development, you might be better off going with an agency. Because an agency can easily grow the team for you, they can find new people to come in, they can manage development, which is something you have no experience with and don't know how to do. So just consider these 2 things. The examples I'm gonna give today are for freelancers, not for agencies, but you can apply them for whatever you're looking for. That was longer than I expected, me talking about agencies versus freelancers, but it is a topic that you should really consider seriously when you first get started. So what do you want to do in this step? List down all of the technologies that you need this person to know. If you don't know what the technologies are, that's also okay. Don't worry, we'll get to it. To list down all the activities that this person needs to do. Do they need to only write code, or do they need to also deploy it to production and manage the servers and etc.? If they need to do all of these things, again, you might be better off with an agency, because these are a lot of roles into one. It might be difficult to find someone who knows how to do all of them. What is the budget that you want to give to this role? And is there a specific time zone you're looking for so you can be in communication with them? And lastly, just give this role a name. It can be development manager, it could be a node developer, it can be whatever. Now, if you feel like you're missing any of these parts, that's fine, don't worry. Now, do you feel like this is a little overwhelming? Are you not sure about the specific technologies or the role or the name of this role, or what is a reasonable salary expectation? Do not worry, because step number 2 is going to solve this for you. Step number 2 is to find a technical person to help you vet your actual person. So what does that mean? You're not a technical founder. You know it, we know it, it's fine, it's okay, you can still succeed. But you do need someone to be able to kind of look into hire and give you a professional opinion. Because you might be able to say, this person has really good communication and it seems like they know what they're doing and they did the test tasks and we're good. But do you know what's going on behind, like under the hood? Are they doing a good job? You have no way of knowing if you don't know how to read the code. So you do need a technical person to kind of help you out with that. This is, by the way, a mistake that Eric and I made in the beginning. We didn't have a technical person to help us vet these people. And because of that, we ended up hiring people only based on what we saw. Like, we gave them a test task, they gave us the results, and we were like, yeah, this looks good, let's go with it. And we missed a lot of things because of that. We missed some blind spots that they had, that we had. It is better to have someone technical to help you solve this issue. Now, you might be saying, I don't have a technical co-founder. How am I supposed to find someone to do that? There's a difference between finding a co-founder to go all in on the business with you and finding someone to help you out. Some ways you can find someone like that are, you can find some friends or family members who are developers. You can find a friend of a friend or someone from your network that you might pay. Like, it's okay to spend some money on someone to help you do these testings. That's fine. Just use your network and find the right people to help you out. We right now have a technical manager who is an employee who manages the technical team, the development and everything. So he is our technical guy. But when we were looking for him and we wanted to find really good people, like someone who can do this role and we can trust, we actually reached out to our cousin who is a developer, who is actually a development team head, and he helped us with interviews and test tasks, etc. Now we have a huge family, so it's really easy to find someone who would, have a skill. Like, name a skill, someone in my family has it, just because of numbers. Yeah. But you can probably find someone from your network as well. And if you can't, then reach out on social media, reach out to people, try to find someone who can help you out. I am sure that if you try hard enough, you will. So whatever you're not sure about the role, ask this person to give you the details, the technical details, the name of the role, etc. Also, let them know exactly what you need from them. You need 3 main things. 1 is to help you define the role and kind of write the requirements. 2 is to help you do the technical interviews for the candidates. And 3 is to help you write and review the test task, which we'll get to in next steps. Let's move forward. Now, we have 4 more steps to go. From now on, I'm actually gonna jump into the computer and show you the process on Upwork, because this is the platform we choose to use. You could use other platforms. I'm recommending Upwork because it's good. It has a lot of options, some better, some worse. And I'm gonna help you figure out how to find the good people off of Upwork that you really wanna work with. So step number 3 would be to post a job on Upwork. You wanna post a job that gives some minimal requirements, exactly what you need, and kinda helps you get exposure to the right people. Let's just jump into it. I'll show you exactly how to do it, what we did in our job post, all of the things. So I'm going to go over my Node.js developer job post. You can see right here that this is a very minimal job post. So I'm not going to go over exactly how to write a job post on Upwork. We actually have a video showing you how to do that. I'll link the video and you can check it out. It's an older video showing how we used to hire people. Now we do it a little differently, so here's the updated version. But Upwork has not changed much, so posting is pretty much the same. Let me just go over the details. So we have a backend development post for senior Node.js developer. We need to hire 3 freelancers. That's a lie. We need more, but doesn't really matter what you say here. Just do you need 1 or do you need a few? That's the main thing. We do not limit location. Worldwide is good for us. And let's just do a quick read of the job post. So, Reconvert, a leading app, is looking for a full-time remote Node.js developer. Now, there's a reason it doesn't say a leading Shopify app from our experience. When you mention Shopify, WordPress, any kind of CMS that you're looking to develop to, you would sometimes get people who are super niche down on that platform and are not the best developers. That is a bit of a generalization, so don't just take me at my word. Check out for yourself. But that's the reason we don't put it here. The candidate must show expertise in Node.js, blah, 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 and the position is full-time. You will work as part of an existing remote team to help build quality software, blah, 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 blah. Now, some other details: the level should be an expert, the hourly rate that we are willing to pay, more than 30 hours a week, and more than 6 months, because we are looking for someone long-term to stay with us. Now, there's another thing that you can add on Upwork that I highly suggest you use, which is the proposal questions. So we always like to ask questions in the proposal. For example, here what we asked is, what is your monthly salary expectation? Because while we define an hourly rate, we do prefer to work with people monthly basis. And do you work as part of an agency? As I said, we are looking for freelancers. There's an issue with Upwork. There are a lot of agencies who pose as freelancers, so we make sure to ask this question. The goal is to not waste our time, basically. Skills and expertise, we write down all the skills that we need this person to have, and then preferred locations like English language, etc. We are open to a lot of different people from a lot of different places, so we do not limit here too much. This is the job post. You post it, and then you might want to actually upgrade it the job post. I think it's about $25, something like that. And then you have unlimited invitations, but we'll get there in the next step. The important thing about the job post is define the skills that they need, define what you're looking for, kind of give the vibe and some of the background on your company, and ask the right question. For example, for us, it was, are you a freelancer and what is your monthly salary? You might ask different questions. The job post is super basic. Do not count on everyone on Upwork to be a good fit. People just submit proposals all over the place. That's fine, that's okay. I'm gonna teach you how to actually minimize that as well. Alright, so we have a job post, great. Step number 3 is done. I'm gonna move on to step number 4, which is actually starting to invite freelancers. But before I do, if you've found any value in this video so far, please just drop a quick yes in the comments below. I would love to know if these kind of videos actually help you out. The algorithm of YouTube would like to know as well. It really helps us out, and it also helps us kind of figure out what you guys are enjoying. So if you're getting any value from this video, drop a yes down below and let's move forward. Next step is to invite freelancers to our job posts, as I said. So what we're going to do now, let me share my screen again so you guys can see what I'm doing. Now this is the important part, because sometimes people just post a job and forget about it and just take the people who actually come in and send proposals. But that's not what you want to do, because maybe someone you really want to work with didn't send a proposal. So you need to invite people. As you can see, there are steps up here. We're going to go into the next step, which is invite freelancers. Since this is an active job post, I've already done a lot of invitations, but I'll show you how it's done. You can see here a bunch of freelancers in this page. What I want to do is first of all kind of refine my search. I'm going to go into filters, and then on filters there's a few things that I personally care about. You might be looking into different things. English level, I want someone who is fluent. I want someone I can communicate with well, because this is a very close-knit work. Talent type, I'm looking for freelancers, not agencies. You might be looking for agencies or you might not care. That's also fine. Now, Even though I marked freelancers, it's gonna find some freelancers who represent an agency. That happens, that's annoying, but that's why we have some ways to deal with that, like the screening questions. You might look for a specific hourly rate. In this specific case, I chose not to limit it, even though I do have a specific rate that I'm looking for. And job success, I chose to look for top rated plus and rising talent. You might look for something a little lower, that's fine. That's totally okay, you can. I'm just helping myself kind of screen the good people, because Upwork has a lot of good people, but a lot of not so good. As far as location, you might want someone from a specific location. I don't care. I do not. Most of the locations I'm good with, I care about their English and I care about their job, and that's it. I don't care where they're from, so I'm not filtering this. Now, once I filtered, I'm gonna hit search. And now let's get into the hack. So you could go over the first few pages, that's fine. You see there's a lot of pages here. We don't even know how much. You can go over the first few pages, not an issue. But these first few people are probably maybe a little better at like Upwork SEO, at getting their faces out there. And you might be missing some really good people who are willing to work for a lower rate, but are really good. So what I like to do is I go up here to the URL. And if you scroll all the way to the end, no, wait, hold on. So I'm gonna first click next, go to the next page, and then I think you will be able to find the page. So you see it says here page equals 2. I'm gonna go for page, I'm gonna start with like 15 or 20, but because I've already done them, let's do 36. I'm not sure if I've went over it yet or not. Awesome. So I see here in page 36 some freelancers. What I'm gonna do now is start scrolling and look for the relevant people. First thing I'm looking at is actually their hourly rate. I'm looking for people who are in the budget that I'm looking for. The ones who are way over, I'm not even gonna look at. If they're a little bit over and I think they are promising, I might look at them. Okay, so like this person. She is available now. She's within my budget. Let's click at her and have a look. So, first of all, I like to scroll down here and see if she's associated with anyone. She is associated with an agency, which I don't like, but I still might be able to hire her separately. So let's have a look. So reading her profile very quickly, it doesn't actually seem like she's a good fit for us. It seems like she does very specific, more front-end stuff, not what we're looking for. WordPress theme design, that's not what we're looking for. So let's go to the next page. Okay, here's another guy who is within my budget. Now clicking him. He's also associated with an agency, which I don't like, but let's see. So, backend frameworks, these are frameworks I'm interested in, that's good. CMS, WordPress, that's a red flag because, as I said, a lot of the time the people who are specifically for a specific CMS are not what I'm looking for, but I don't think it's a red enough flag for me to say no. So I am going to actually invite this person, even though he is associated with an agency, since I do have the screening question. If he is associated to the point where he only works for the agency, he'll let me know. All I have to do is click invite. Upwork does it for you. You don't have to do anything. The default message is good enough. Send invitation. Oh, I've already invited him. Okay, let's move forward. But that's the process. Actually, it seems like I've been through these pages, so it seems like I've been through them. Let's find, let's say, like 45 as of page 45. Okay. So we have this guy. He's not associated with an agency. That's a talent cloud. I'm actually not sure what it means, but it's not an agency. Okay, this sounds like he might be a good fit. He's a top rated plus. His rate is low. He's not associated with an agency. I don't have any more information other than like some of the technologies that he wrote in his job post, which sound good. So I'm just gonna invite him to the job. Let's do a few more because I just want you guys to see what it looks like when someone is associated with an agency. Never mind. I haven't found what I was looking for, but I think I did show you guys what someone who is associated with an agency looks like. Again, it is up to you. If you are looking for someone who's not associated with an agency, do you want to try that person who is associated or not? Up to you. You could be flexible. Let's look at another one. This person is from Nepal, $25 an hour. That's in my budget. Yeah, the technologies seem good, not associated with an agency. Invite. So this is the process of inviting. What I would recommend you do is actually go for like 30, 40 pages. Again, it depends on how many people you're looking for. If you're looking for one person, maybe do like chunks of 20 pages at a time or 30. And then after a first round of interviews, decide if you still need someone new or not, because you don't want to overwhelm yourself. In our case, because we're looking for a lot of developers, I want to catch as many as I can in the net so that I can later on find the best people, because I'm looking for more than one. If I was looking for one, maybe I would invite a little less people. So this is step number 3. We've invited people. In this step, Upwork allows you to invite 15 or 20 people, I think, to your job post. And then if you want to invite more, you have to upgrade, which is what I said in the beginning is about $25, if I'm not wrong. Up to you if you decide it's worth it. I really recommend that you do it. It's a one-time thing. You don't have to redo it. It also gets your job post in front of more people, gets you a wider net, like I said. Okay, so we have invited people. We are now getting to the juicy part, the fun part, the actually starting to interview people part. You are going to start talking to people on Upwork and inviting them into an interview. Now, what you don't need is, you don't need a long conversation. This is not a dating app. You don't need to talk to them for a long ass time before you get on a call and then go on a date. No need for that. Just message them with a link to your Calendly or any other scheduling solution you use. We use Calendly. So let me show you again. So we created a Calendly meeting page where I actually specified a specific week where I am willing to accept their meetings for 15 minutes. That's it. No need for anything more. So for this week, I know I'm going to have a lot of interviews of 15 minutes at a time. That's fine. That is what I'm doing this week, interviewing people and filming this video. So I just send them this link and invite them to schedule a call where I'll talk to them. There's no need to talk to them anymore. There's no point in asking questions and, experience, etc. You can do all of that in a call. That's much better, much more efficient for you and for the freelancer. Why waste each other's time? So let's see how we do it. I'm going to review proposals. This is the next step. See, Upwork takes you through these steps and you can start reviewing some proposals. Upwork will let you know what they think is the good match, a bad match, etc. Don't have to listen to them. All you have to do is kind of review and try to find out, are these good people? And let's do this together. Some of these people I've already reviewed, some of them I haven't, so... Okay, we have a great example of what I was looking for before. So this person is a best match according to Upwork, but he is associated with an agency. Exactly what I'm not looking for. So let's for a second open his proposal. So he said what his salary expectation is. This is a little bit above the sum that I want to pay, but I wouldn't necessarily say no. If he's good enough, I might be willing to pay it, and maybe he'll be willing to kind of go down a little bit in salary to start with. So do you work for an agency? This one he didn't even answer. Because he knows that I don't want to work with agencies and he is associated with an agency. How do I know? Because he wrote a cover letter, which they usually do. I am the CEO of this agency and have two free senior Node.js developer. Not interested, thank you. That's it. I am not looking to work with agencies at this point. If I was, maybe I would talk to this person. So what I do is I thumbs down him. Do not worry, he's not going to be notified. I don't think it affects his rating in any way. It just removes him from your potentials list so that you can focus on people who are actually good potentials for you. So you can see the people that I've already watched because they're right. And then the people that I have not watched yet are kind of greenish. So let's see this person. So the proposal as far as salary is okay. This is kind of like the thing that I'm looking for. Do you work as part of an agency? No. Great. Awesome. And then I can send her a message. So if you scroll down, you can see the chat history. In the chat history, you can see that I sent her a message and then she replied. And again, no point wasting too much time. All I have to do is let me copy it from someone else actually, because I do not have it copied at the moment. So I have this message that I send them all. I used to say their name in the message and then change it every time, and I realized I was wasting my time. They don't care if I say their name in this specific message. Doesn't matter. I'm just sending them, thanks for applying. I'd love to hop on a quick interview to see if it'll be a good fit. Could you choose a time that works for you? Here, Calendly link. That's it. No need to do anything more. That way you don't waste your time writing a perfect message. You actually invest your time finding the perfect people instead. So I'm going to continue scrolling down. This person, again, associated with an agency. I am a co-founder and CTO. No, thank you. Now I can go back and do the thumbs down, but I can also do it for the 3 dots here. Nope. I have this person. He is not an agency. Okay, I see Eric has already spoken to this guy. Ooh, this is a talent specialist from Upwork. That's the first time I'm seeing this kind of a thing where a talent specialist helps us out. Okay, let's write him, tell him thank you for applying, and please schedule a call. That's really interesting. First time it happens to me. Okay, another guy who is associated with an agency. So this guy says that he sometimes works with the agency and sometimes not. So I see I already spoke to him. I already sent him a link and he's scheduled. Let's do a few more. I'm looking for the green ones because these are the ones that I haven't replied to yet. Not agency. Oh, this is another. Oh, this is so cool. Okay, guys, this is new. We're finding something new here. Upwork are actually helping me find people. They are getting people in the funnel for me. Okay, this guy is a little higher as far as some that I'm willing to pay. That being said, I am willing to give him the chance and see if maybe he's worth it or if he's willing to lower his rate. So I'm gonna send him an interview request. Let's do one more before we move forward. I don't want to bore you if I haven't already. Independent freelancer. Okay, he wrote me a long ass message, so I feel kind of bad for not reading everything, but you know, the rest of them I'll do separately. I do need to do all of that, and it's very tempting to just do it on video, but I'm not gonna. I think you got the point. Just invite them to as many interviews as you can. Before we move to the next step, I just want to show you, once they start getting these invites, what it's going to look like. So this is my calendar. All the dark purple ones, these are interviews. And as you can see, I'm still working on inviting people in, so there's a lot of things that are not here yet. But basically, we can see that we have a lot of interviews that have already been scheduled and still adding up to my calendar through Calendly. This is what your calendar is the calendar is gonna start to look like. A lot of short interviews that you can get down very quickly. Now, once you interview people, what's next? You want to actually follow up with them. So what you need to do is actually collect their details in a Google Sheets. That's what I use. It's the easiest and most convenient. And you want to start sending them test tasks. Now, we use a tool called Codility. I'll show you first in a second. That helps us test them out, and it gives us the score and helps us figure out, is this a good person or not, as far as the skills we're looking for. It is super comfortable to use, but it is on the higher end as far as the cost. So if you cannot afford it, that's fine. Just ask your technical friend who is helping you figure it out to write a test task, and also he'll be the person reviewing it. So just first of all, let's have a look at the actual Google Sheets. So you can see here that we have a Google Sheet with all of the people that I've interviewed so far. So whenever I interview someone, he goes in the list. Not when I message him on Upwork, because a lot of these people are actually not going to end up scheduling an interview. Once I interviewed him, I'm asking a set of questions. In our case, what I'm asking is years of experience. Do you have any management experience? And what tech experience do you have? Like what technologies do you have? What salary are you interested in? And some personal notes. And then I have the test column where I actually put in, did I send him the test task yet or not? This will help me kind of see, when did I send the test? Did I not get it back? And it's been a week, red flag, maybe I don't want to work with these people. This is like the red one is someone who just didn't show up for the interview. This is also going to happen, which is why you want to invite as many people as possible. In my case, once they actually went through the interview, I send them a Codility test. As you can see here, this is Codility. We have a few tests running at the same time. We have Node, Frontend, DevOps. This one is an old one that we don't use anymore. So you can see how many people you invited, how many have already tested. And then if you look into it, you can see that some people have already done the test, some are still working on it, and I can also see their score. And then a lot of the times you would be surprised, because there was this one person that I thought was really impressive on interview and I thought he would be amazing. He got a 40% on the test, so he's not that amazing. So the test is super important. Now, if you don't use Codility or any other platform, there might be other cheaper platforms. I don't know, I haven't really tested. If I do find something out, I'll let you guys know. But if you know something, let us know in the comments so people can know as well. But what you want to do is let your technical friend do the testing. Let's say in a week or two, you get all the tests from everyone, you review them, and then you decide, these are the final people, these are the people I'm going to work with or going to advance to the next step. So this is a crucial step in actually understanding who do you need and how do you move forward? Who do you like out of your tens of people that you interviewed? Who do you actually want to continue with? These are the people you are going to advance to the last step, which is step number 6. Schedule a technical interview. So you've interviewed them, you decided that they might be people you want to work with. The technical person reviewed the task that they did and said, okay, they're good enough, let's talk to them. Now it is the technical person's time to shine. You take your technical friend and set him up with a bunch of interviews with all the relevant people. He will talk to them and let you know what he thinks. Ideally, if you can, be there with him. If you can't, have him record the interview so you can review it later and kind of see the communication and maybe learn a little bit what kind of questions he asked and how he actually decided who's a good fit and who's not. It is important to note that sometimes the technical person would have very high requirements and only look at the technical requirements. But sometimes, even if someone is not as technical, he would be better off as a freelancer because he has higher motivation or better communication. So don't just take whatever the technical person says and do whatever he says. Also consider your own requirements. So this is why it's important to set up some criteria for the technical person to talk about them together and decide, okay, I want you to let me know how well did he do in the test? How well did he answer the questions? How nice he was? How easy was he to understand, etc. Actually make sure that the technical person and you are on the same page as far as what are we looking for. At the end of this step, you should have at least one person that you want to hire, or maybe more depending on how many people you're looking for. And you can be sure that you have found the best option that you could for the cheapest price or for the most effective price, however you want to call it. You just want to make sure that you actually optimizing for the budget that you have as a bootstrapper who is trying to get started, but also optimizing for the best results as far as the code that you will get. No one fits? That's fine. Go back up to step number 4 and start the process again. That happens sometimes. Even worse, you might hire someone and think they're gonna be amazing and then say, yeah, no, they're not good once you start working with them. And that's fine too. That happens. We have to accept it. The secret is to fire fast and then hire fast. So you hire someone fast, and if they're not good, you fire them and go and find a new person. This is also why the table of people who are relevant is super important, because maybe you pick the first choice and you find out they're not good. And then instead of searching all over again, you go to the second choice and maybe he'll be good. You don't know, which is why it's important to stay in touch and kind of update them if they are a fit or not. We're not the best at the firing fast part. Sometimes we give people chance and chance again. Don't beat yourself up Overall, the important part is that you actually get the job done and find the right person. And also take into account that maybe you will think you found the right person, a year down the line you will find out that you didn't. That is also fine, it's okay, just get the ball rolling. That's the most important part. Okay, I feel like this video has gotten way out of control with how long it has been. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to learn a little more about bootstrapping your way to success in your business, we have a video talking about it right here. And this is the video that YouTube thinks you should watch. See you later, bye bye.